I'm Colonel Pixley, and with me as always is Alderin Gerand. And you're listening to the November 10th transmission of Comm Chatter, the show about everyday pilots' lives and the news that concerns us. Today, this month is the 1-year anniversary of Comm Chatter, so we'll do a little bit of celebrating about that. Otherwise, we've got a bit of news concerning the Teverin and the 2945 Cutlass lineup, which I know a lot of people are excited about. Then we got some discussion topics, like me getting an 890 jump brochure in the mail, and we'll talk about that, because I have plenty to say about that. And then also a bit of a scandal with the education system. Oh! And I forgot to mention, we have a guest today. We are again recording from neutral, unspecified territory. So, our guest this time is the enigmatic pirate Birdsong. So we've got our room filled one side with pickandshield teal, and the other side with Birdsong Armada red. Birdsong will be joining us in just a moment. I don't know what's taking her so long. Ah, okay. There we go. So his helmet on. Alrighty, Birdsong, welcome to the show.
Well, hello, Jason.
I know that voice.
Oh, you should. I think the last time we met was... Huh? Well, that took longer than I expected.
Well, it has been 2 years.
Give or take.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've had a skeleton fall out of my closet. We'll be right back after the jump. You know, you've got some big balls, figuratively, of course, to show your face in front of me again.
Well, I'd say, given how we parted ways, bigger balls than you, put it that way.
Well, that burns.
Yeah. You know, those scars healed up a lot better than I thought they would. And that was an awfully nasty shot I gave you.
Yes. Well, your aim has never been particularly great, has it?
Not on the ground, no.
Yeah, I would know. I've had to drag him out of there a few times.
Alderin, Mommy and Daddy are talking. Okay, you hate me and I hate you. Why did you come on my show?
To prove your failure? You thought you'd taken me out, but no.
Well, yeah, I knew I had failed when the advocacy came knocking on my door, asking where the body I said I left there was. That was a very pleasant conversation I had with them, and it would have been a lot easier had you just kept laying there on that floor.
I apologize for not dying.
Well, I mean, most people don't, but that should have been a curveball. Turns out it wasn't. Alright, well, seeing as we have a bunch of guns pointed at each other, I guess we can...
Which I'm showing great restraint in not saying open fire, I might add.
Well, let's just say the feeling's mutual. I'd say it's good to see you, but I'd be lying.
Well, that's mutual too.
Excellent. Alrighty. Well, on with the show then. So as I mentioned, it's the 1-year anniversary of Comm Chatter. It was November 2nd, 2943.
I'm not making this at all awkward, am I?
Awkward? No, this is
No.
awkward. Totally not awkward
Good.
at all.
So, it's obvious that Pixley knows you, but I don't, not really, and neither does our audience. So, can you tell us about yourself?
A little. I mean, I'm not going to go into too much detail because that would be suicide. No, yeah, outlaw. Hence why I'm here, hence why we're here.
Yeah, I gathered that much.
Uh, Pixley would know me through our mutual attempts to set up a similar sort of thing to, I believe, what you're running now. Is that right?
Yes, I will not lie. Pickanshield is heavily influenced by our prior
Our initial
organization.
venture.
Yes.
Yes. Pixley helped me pick myself back up on my feet after I had a small issue with the UEE.
Small. Let's just
Hey,
say...
in the grand scheme of things, that was small.
Oh, then I don't want to know what you've been doing since then. Let's just say someone neglected to tell me what the issue they were having was. And then when I found out, I realized it was a big deal. And it ended up with me shooting her in the face. So, yeah, you know, yeah, I guess it's not that big a deal in the grand scheme of things.
It was less of a big deal than you shooting me in the face, that's for sure.
Yes, well, we had a very heated argument. And there was
That's
a
one way to
death.
put it. You walked into my hangar and put a gun to my head.
Okay, that is misrepresenting what happened. I did not put a gun to your head as soon as I walked in. It was
There was some
thereafter.
shouting, there was some fighting, yes, but that's the important key part of it, really.
Yeah, well. If you just stayed on that floor. Alright. On with the show.
Okay then.
Before we lose our tempers here. Alrighty. Let's move on to something a bit nicer. Something a bit more fun. In that, Comm Chatter has passed its 1-year anniversary. Yay!
Yay! We're not any better.
I feel like we've greatly improved the quality of the broadcast.
Well, alright, just a little bit.
We have guests. Plural now. We've reached plural guests. That is
2.
a major accomplishment. It's better than
And
singular.
both of them are opposed to you. What does that say about you?
Yeah, I mean, both guests we've had so far are pirates. I would have
prefer
expected
to
someone
sound
else by
outlaw.
now. Well, close enough.
I like to think that that means that the show has broad appeal, not just to people who agree with us on certain things.
Absolutely.
I suppose
Know
that's
your
one
enemy.
way. That's one way to look at it.
I said I like to think that. I would say I'm not saying that's actually necessarily the case. But they all tune in to laugh at us. Anyway, point is, we've made it a year. So, it's a pretty good accomplishment. Obviously, our schedule of releases hasn't been quite as good as we'd hoped, but we can celebrate anyway. Alderin, did you bring a cake? Or was I supposed to do that?
You were supposed to do that.
Crap. You don't have money for cake?
You didn't leave it on the roof of your 325, did you?
No, I literally do not have money for cake right now. Speaking of which, I'll give you the 5 UEC back next week.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure you will.
I promise this time.
It's
I have
been
a
a
good
couple
mission lined up for us
months.
this week. Okay? Really good mission this week.
Is that mission going to make you an extra 10 UEC?
No. It's going to make us more than that. And hopefully enough...
Things obviously improved since the last time I was working with you.
Okay, that is just unfair. It was just the two of us back then. Neither of us had the forces we do now.
True enough. Mine has increased and yours has, well...
What is that supposed to mean? I have
Oh, nothing.
people.
Nothing.
Last I checked, we have the same number of people for either side in this room, so... Yeah. Take that.
Carry on. Feel free to celebrate.
Yeah.
Shall we move on?
Yes, let's. Alder, do you wanna take this, or do you want me to take it?
Let me see. It's been a while since I looked at this.
Yes.
It's not exactly new news now.
Nothing's new news.
Okay, did they change the URLs for the RSI site lately? It just redirected me.
Did it 404 or just redirect?
No.
Oh, did it redirect you to the correct article?
Yeah, perhaps. I don't know, they might have just changed the comm link a bit.
I hate it when they do that. Let's see, see if I can find it.
Yeah, I still get a bunch of 404s from the old forums. I gotta go through my bookmarks and update all of them.
Oh.
It's only been, what, a year? Or more now?
I'm
since
sure
they...
the same,
Yeah, it's the right one. It's the right one. I just redirect. Okay, so... Is it Gemma or Gemma?
That is a great question.
I pronounce that as Gemma. But that's me, and I'm British, so...
Yeah. Well, so is Chris Roberts, though.
Well, he's
Sort of.
technically American. He was born in Britain, but...
Well, yeah. Well, and Haddock probably wrote this anyway, and he's decidedly American. So...
it's
yeah,
like
let's say
gift
we go with
versus
Gemma,
GIF.
because it has the word gem in it.
Okay, just give me a minute to look this over. I've completely forgot about it.
I mean, I wasn't giving it like a lot of attention. I was basically just gonna mention the fact that dude is running for Senate. Not a whole lot else.
Alright, I'm just gonna skim it, see if I can pull anything good from it.
All right. Yeah, this article is 2 months ago. That's really sad.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. If any of you have visited Gemma, the capital of the Taveran homeworld, it's quite a beautiful place. However, there's something somewhat unsettling about it. There's more and more crime among its inhabitants, mainly the Taveran. Now, they were, before the war with the UEE, they were a really proud race. Their navy was top notch. They nearly beat us.
Everyone knows that.
Well, yeah, but there are people that don't remember the war.
Well, yeah, there may be people who don't remember the war, but I mean,
Anyway,
whatever.
Let's just continue on. As I said, crime mainly among the Taveran has been increasing and increasing. It's like the only way for many of them to make a living, and sometimes lose said living. But there's one Taveran that's stepped away from that and is trying to change it. His name is, how should I say this? Suj Kosi? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right,
Kosi? I don't know.
So,
Well, that's with my Japanese accent right there.
Such cussy, yeah. This is how it's it. But that's
You say that a lot better than I do. I don't know. It sounds a lot neater. It just sounds messy when I say it.
Us dumb Americans!
Uh,
Anyway.
this Tavaran's name is Suj Kasi. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not Tavaran. I can't manage their names quite as well. Now he's from Gemma, you know, and he was involved with crime quite a bit in his earlier days.
and now he's trying to run for the Senate, so he's getting involved in crime in his older age as well.
Right, but going from criminal to military to Senate, he's trying to create a better life for the Tavaran. He's trying to get them off the streets, out of the gangs and whatnot. But if he succeeds, he's the first Tavaran to make it into the Senate.
We'll just have to see how that goes, huh?
So, I mean, there's a lot more to the story than this, but
Well, yeah, of course. We're sourcing from a 2-month-old article, because that's how long it's taken us. Yay.
But, what do you guys think about this, if he makes it in? Like, do you think he has a chance, too?
Well, I won't pretend to know anything about, Elysium, politics, because, I barely keep up with Terran politics, with good reason. So, I don't know whether he has a chance, but that would certainly be pretty cool. I'm all for diversity and stuff.
Yes. If you ask me, it's just a political move by the UEE to make themselves look more inclusive.
Anti-government as always.
Well, and you're not?
I wouldn't call myself anti-government. I'm just a bit more apathetic.
Well, it's certainly a possibility. I mean, they've done some pretty shady stuff in the past. But, who knows? Maybe this isn't an act of the government. Maybe this guy's actually trying, honestly, to make things better.
Oh,
That'd be a nice change, wouldn't it?
Yeah, things being better would indeed. Well, I guess
And
things
we should
being better would be better is kind of a tautology, isn't it?
Yeah, and I should point out, this isn't for the Elysium Senate. This is for the UEE Senate.
Well, that is definitely worth pointing out.
That is quite a big difference, Pixley. It shows how much he gets involved in politics.
No, I'm aware of that. I'm saying because
It means
in the
very
Elysium
little.
system vote to put him in the Senate.
Well,
So the specific politics within the Elysium system would influence whether or not he gets elected. That was my
Right.
point. Come on, I may be apathetic towards the government, but I'm not totally ignorant about how the government works.
These days.
you said that last time.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Was I wrong about something when I said that?
You got thrown out.
What?
You went to sort of a town hall sort of meeting. You got yourself thrown out.
Okay. That was BS, and we're not supposed to talk about that. Okay, you're not supposed to talk about that.
Seems some things never change, Pixley.
You...
Right, so next, who wants to get this? The Cutlass lineup.
I guess I'll take this. So, the 2945 Cutlass line is out, in service, probably doing all sorts of nefarious stuff, I would
No
imagine.
comment.
Come on, you totally have to have one. I would be shocked if you
What
didn't.
do you think I turned up in?
And I figured you'd turn up in that phoenix of yours.
That's a little bit too showy.
How?
No, the Cutlass is the workhorse of my fleet.
Well, I would imagine that's the workhorse of any fleet of your particular alignment. I just wish I had the workhorse of my particular alignment. Alder, we really need to get Hornets. Someday.
Hey, I
You're
could
not
probably
still
get
flying
one.
at 300.
Oh, well,
You need to get a Hornet.
yeah, I know. Hey, just be glad. I make it so that everyone else gets taken care of before I take care of myself. I'm generous. Unlike some people in this room.
Right, so continuing on with the Cutlass.
Oh, yes. Of course, as has been the case for many recent ship launches, there are variants. Not as many as others. I mean, there are only 3. And, like, the Mustang, which is coming out soon, is rumored to have, like, 5 or something ridiculous like that. Which, well, I'd say it's ridiculous, but I just already did. Anyway, so, just a quick overview, since this is rather old news, and I figure most people know about it. You got the Cutlass Black, which is the standard model, very similar to previous releases, just some minor functional and structural changes. Then you've got the Cutlass Red, which is for search and rescue and has a med bay and other such stuff. So, actually, something that may apply to people who aren't dirty, rotten pirates.
I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss that for that purpose.
Well, of course. That,
To be fair, anyone could really use that, just depending on how they operate.
yes. Yeah, my point was that not only dirty, rotten pirates have to use it. And then there's the Cutlass Blue, which is, from what
Which is a beautiful, beautiful ship.
Yeah, it's the police variant. Or police-focused
Police,
variant.
inverted commas. Variant.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna put like
Quote-unquote
4
police.
different sets of quotation marks around that.
Supposedly marketed toward police. Supposedly.
Yes. It has more holding cells. Slavery.
6 holding cells.
And missiles, also.
Yeah,
Which-
missiles,
missiles are nice.
bigger power plants, heavier shields, larger
Better armor.
thrusters. Yeah. A little less cargo space, same as the red.
And of course, more expensive.
Yeah. I've got one. Yay.
When were you planning on telling me about that?
Eventually.
I mean,
I have 2.
well, look who's so freaking special. But seriously, Alderin, why didn't you tell me about that sooner? That's amazing in the, like, I didn't expect that sense, but I'm impressed. What are you doing while I'm not having you do stuff?
Making money.
Maybe it's found
Hey.
a sideline than an actual profitable business.
Hey, before I joined Pick and Shield, I started like just a little business myself. Nothing huge, but buys me a ship now and then.
The purpose of Pick and Shield is not to be profitable, it's about protecting people. For the
Which is
record.
fine until you end up protecting the people with sticks and stones because you can't afford weapons.
My 325A is plenty fine equipped, thank you.
Case in point.
It holds its own. Mostly. Speaking of origin stuff, let's move on to our first discussion topic. So, as our listeners may be aware, I am on Origin's mailing list for some stupid reason. I mean, yes, I did buy 325A, but I think they know by now that I don't have money for anything other than that 325A. So, they sent me a physical copy of the 890 Jump brochure. And this thing is hilarious. Like, I really don't understand this brochure. Because, like, half of it is talking about the ship. And the other half is, like, naming all sorts of locations around the verse that I'll never have enough money to go to. It's like, yeah, Origin's supposed to be kind of luxury, but damn. It's like a traveler's guide. It's like they sold ad space in their freaking brochure. Like, they got the tourism agencies of each of these locations and
They have to do something to fund the development of something that ridiculously expensive.
Well, yeah, but selling ad space in a brochure, I mean, assuming that is even the case, I don't know, maybe they could just be all hoity-toity, which listeners of the show, of course, know that I hate hoity-toity. But, like, freaking Goss. Like, I'm never gonna go to Goss. I mean, I'd love to, because it looks really pretty, but let's be honest, I'm never going there. So, yeah, this is like a funny little brochure they've got going here.
I don't suppose one of the add-ons they sell is a target painted on the side, is there?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I saw that potential for it as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully that means people with money will start paying us to protect them. I was hoping that would be the case when the Phoenix launched, but that has not gone as well as I'd hoped. So, any other thoughts on the 890 Jump?
Well, it's...
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, what do you... aside from the price, what do you think of it? I mean, I know luxury ships aren't your sort of thing, but... you know...
I mean, I won't lie.
What do you think of it functionally?
Functionally?
And looks-wise.
Well, looks-wise, I mean, I won't deny it's a gorgeous ship. Like, Origin is really good at designing ships from an aesthetic standpoint. As for functionality, I mean, I would assume it does its job. I mean, these pictures in the brochure look really nice and luxurious, and like people can just sit down and go for a little cruise. So, going from there, I mean, apparently it's decked out, like it's packing, but I don't.
Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how that ends up going, because like, look at this picture on the cover, and like I see maybe one thing sticking up that even looks remotely like a weapon.
It'd be interesting if if the tradition of variants are kept up, everyone pumping them out. If there's a more militarized version, I mean, lot less flair. Maybe just.
I want to see what they would militarize in that thing.
Yeah, I mean, I know it would it'd be very different than the base model we have right now, but.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is something that has like one purpose and one purpose only.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
I mean, really, if anyone wants to go for militarization, they might as well just save up and buy an Idris.
Well...
I mean, I would.
Don't forget, there's... the UE is working on the new Corvettes. It's roughly the same size as that thing. Around the same size as the 890. Except, it's all classified and stuff. All redacted.
Well, maybe we'll get a consumer version, because that would also make me happy. Alrighty.
Need I go back to still flying a 300 series?
Sorry?
Nothing.
Alright, there is, although I have to say, I do like the interior style to the 890 more than I did for the Phoenix. And there's one really big benefit to it.
That
You know what
being-
that is?
What?
The bottles in the bar aren't painted on.
You're still on about that? You're seriously still on about that? It's been
Hey,
2 months.
I just can't. I mean, yeah, okay, so at the local RSI dealer, they just had one there for show. They were like, showing off, letting you go inside it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I just saw people keep reaching for bottles. And just like bruising their knuckles on the wall. Or they just keep grabbing and they just can't understand why there's not alcohol in their hand. Or hydrofrost or whatever those are supposed to represent. Wait, no, hydrofrost, that's energy drink. Whatever. It screws you up too.
Yeah, so I guess people need to pay more attention if they can't tell the difference between 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional objects. Yeah. Although I can definitely see why you like the aesthetic of the 890 over that of the Phoenix, because it's not bright and wood paneled and totally isn't the same as the inside of a Revel and York hanger.
Which has been growing on me a little bit.
I told you it would.
Just a little.
A Revel and York hanger.
Oh, what? Do you have one of those too? I assume.
No, it's rather high profile for my taste.
Oh, true. No, you. Oh, you got one of them VFG and Industries hangers, don't you?
They may have manufactured the hangar in which I reside, yes.
Of course.
At least those things are spacious.
And practical.
And also stereotypical. Alrighty. Well, no,
Okay,
I didn't
there's-
say
there's-
much.
Yeah.
Anyway. Moving onwardly.
Onward, there's nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, wait, no, there's a
There is a thing.
thing, yes. I thought that was for the 890. Okay,
No.
I didn't read it.
Oh, you want me to take that then?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Alrighty. Well, because I do have a lot to say about it. Alright. Alright, folks. We're getting into Pixley rant territory here.
Oh, this should be good.
Get your hearing protection.
We're gonna have a nice long talk after we stop recording. For the record.
Sure.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway. So, there's been a bit of a scandal in the education system. And I don't know if I've mentioned this on the show, but I am a huge proponent of education. You know, people should know things. And, you know, they should be educated as best they can. High quality education is very important to me and something I very firmly believe in. So even though I don't follow politics all that much, whenever something concerning education comes up, I feel like it's worth taking a look. Because this show's about the common pilot. And I feel like the education system affects everybody, including us. So, yeah, the gist of this is, there has been an investigation into alleged equivalency fixing. And basically they would take the highest scoring students and corrupt the database, the database files for those scores, thus bringing the average down, thus giving them more money. It's just like...
You mean to say someone is using the UE systems against them? What a shock.
Yeah, I know. It's like... I thought we were past this kind of crap, though. I mean... So the money, like the title of this particular money is the Educational Equivalency Imperial Funding Grant. And, you know, its purpose is to give extra funding to disadvantaged places. You know, improve the quality of education for places where tax revenue isn't nearly as high because of socioeconomic conditions. And turns out that places even with really well, even places that are really well off, try to get this. And that's like kids' lives are being ruined
Extremely
over
typical?
this. Sorry?
Extremely typical?
Well, if this were typical, I would have known about it by now, but this news broke, what, 2 weeks ago? Thereabouts.
It only broke because someone managed to blow the whistle on them.
True, but... One Arthur Benio, I don't know how the emphasis goes on that, was dismissed on corruption charges, and he turned out to be very much conducive to this little ring of score fixing. So I guess it does go to the Department of Education, which that is such a shame. Yeah,
Are you really surprised?
I'm not super surprised, but I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed. Like, as much crap as I give the UE sometimes, like, I don't even know. It's really irritating is what it is. And that's why I don't work for the Navy anymore. Well, okay, one of like 7 reasons, but that is certainly a major component of why I don't work for the Navy anymore. And why most of what I do lies firmly outside of UE space. So, any further thoughts on people's education being screwed with? And how terrible, terrible people can do terrible, terrible things when in power?
Other than being typical UEE, I'd say it probably doesn't matter all that much considering what these kids have to learn. They're being fed the usual UEE lies.
Oh, there you go, on about your propaganda thing again.
Propaganda would be fictitious. This isn't.
Well, to be fair, a lot of the stuff they are taught is junk, but not all of it.
Yes, well, like I said, I
mean,
advocate for good education. I don't see it necessarily. I can't say the school system here in New Austin was all that great to me. I can learn a lot more skills. Instead, all I can do is fly a ship. And hold a
I've
gun
seen
straight.
far better practical training in Pyro.
In Pyro? Now, that Pyro's a death wish.
It is for the likes of you.
And Pixley has no comeback for that.
That is inaccurate. Yes, it is more so a death wish for the likes of Pickandshield, but just from a environmental standpoint, it is really dangerous there, and I would not spend any amount of time there if I could avoid it.
Survival of the fittest, so it's probably in your best interest that you don't.
To be fair, we have had to make a few quick jaunts in there.
Yes, well, luckily that turned out pretty well for us.
But even so, it's It is a bit rough on our ships. Even when there's no shooting involved.
Yeah, see, that is my point.
A little radiation isn't going to hurt anybody. Well, it is. Never mind.
I knew you'd slip up at some point. Anyway, well...
Just better hope you don't have to do any EVA repairs, or you're gonna have one serious tan.
I would rather...
By tan, I mean you're gonna be a little crispy.
And by a little crispy, you mean dead. Yes, we get it. Yeah. I think we can all agree that Pyro is not a pleasant place. Can we agree on that? End this on a civil, non-confrontational note?
It's not a typically civilized place, no.
There we go. We've reached consensus. Everyone's happy now. I said everyone's happy now, guys. You can aim your guns away from me and back towards my other dudes who are holding guns.
No, I prefer them pointing at you.
Well, I will be the better man and keep my folks' guns aimed at your folks. Because, yeah, that seems like the better thing to do. Alright, let's drive this home before things get nasty and I start having to do things I don't want to do right now. Especially while I'm on the air. We'd like to thank everyone who's made Comm Chatter possible. Our fantastic guests, ship manufacturers, and all the wingmen out there who need to keep flying. And if you would like to be a guest on Comm Chatter in the future, please shoot us an email at pickandshield@gmail.com. Hopefully future applicants will not be as much skeletons out of my closet as this particular episode was. But we do welcome pirates, obviously. Both guests thus far have been. And if you're not, even better, because then we don't have to involve all the guns and stuff. And then everyone can be happy, and then I don't have to explain to my offspring when on the weekends I get custody why Dad has a big old gash in his shoulder again. So, yeah, let's do that. Also, you can email us if you have feedback about the show, things you like, things you didn't like, segments you like to suggest, news articles you think we should be covering. I mean, I try to keep an ear to the ground on things, but Spectrum can sometimes be unreliable, so if you pick something up, please send it in. So, this is Colonel Pixley, Alden Gerand, and Birdsong signing off.
Thank you for having me, I think.
Yes, well, thank you for not exacting vengeance on me.
Not yet. You'll be seeing more of me, Pixley.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Wait, you knew who was going to say what?
Never mind. Let's just get out of here.
Yes, let's. Yes. Alright.